They were joyful fellowship. Pastor, can you prove it? In verse 46, the Bible said that they did what they did, and they had gladness of heart. They did it with a glad heart. They were willing. They were... Nothing gives me greater joy than to hear that you're growing, the Paul said to the church. It gives me great joy to know that you're continuing in the faith. They did with a joyful heart. You know, it's a bad witness to do what you do and you look like you've been chewing green persimmons. Y'all, anybody here ever had a persimmon that was just, Y'all know that red fox face? Gee, Monetti. Y'all know that face? Green persimmons. But when we do things joyfully, we have a reward for them. We do it grudgingly, we miss the blessing. You miss the joy of serving. The Bible said they had gladness of heart. When they sold their goods and possession, they didn't begrudge that. It was with a glad heart. I'm glad. I stopped over to churches, not churches, we don't have a churches, do we? Have a Popeyes. I don't know. Popeyes. And I stopped in the Popeyes last night. Y'all been seeing that garlic chili chicken? The young lady said he's having the garlic child chicken. Y'all know? Child? Chili is what it is. She said child. And so her boss corrected her, said that's chili. But it does look like child, like honey child, doesn't it? So when I stopped there and had one of these, and there was a young man at the counter, and he was counting out. He had a wand, and he was sitting there counting coins. For the longest time, he was a little bit slow, and he was counting coins. And finally, he looked up, and the lady asked him, well, are you short? He says, 47 cents. And I pulled out this dollar the boys left me in my wallet and gave it to him. And he said, thank you, y'all owe me some change. So I had to let that out. They got haircuts and they owe me change. So I gave him this dollar, and it just felt good to be able to help him. And I smiled at him, and he said, thank you. Thanked me several times. Joyfully. The reward comes. I may never see him this side of heaven. But when you do things joyfully, that dollar ain't nothing. That $1,000 ain't nothing compared to what God has made of this. And with joyful fellowship. This joy, joy is contagious. Let me go back. It's contagious. It rub off. If you got some joy and you share it with somebody else, I've noticed that around here. When somebody get up here and they start smiling, laughing, I see it reflected on your face. It's contagious. Pass it on. Don't just keep your joy to yourself. How you gonna help somebody if you don't spread what you got? They were united fellowship. I like this one. I love seeing us united. We have a lot of opportunities for fellowship. You go shopping and you meet another Christian. What happens? You end up fellowshipping right in the middle of Walmart. You go to the grocery store and you end up fellowshipping right in the middle. Something about being united, seeing somebody, oh, I know him. You light up because we are united. We have a bond that's greater than just what we have in church. It's good to hug each other at church and love each other at church, but we have a bond that's bigger than the both of us, both of us. And we can't keep it to ourselves. I feel a little bit like Shouting John when it comes to joy. Hold my mule. I'm going to shout here at Kroger. God's been too good for me to keep it to myself. Our joy has to be expressed. Don't keep it in, you might bust. Tell the world what great things he's done in your life. If he's ever done anything in your life, tell somebody about it. Let your joy be known. They were united. They walked together. They believed the same thing. All that believed in verse 44 were together. And they had all things common. They had all things common. That's saying that they spoke the same things. The Apostle Paul said that we as believers ought to speak the same things. What does that mean? That we all gonna see things in the same way? No, we're not gonna see things the same way. But when it comes to things of God, we ought to be speaking the same. We ought to be giving the same message. They were together, had all things common. Verse 46 said they were with one accord. Isn't that something? How many ways of saying, verse 46 said they had singleness of heart. They had one united purpose and goal in mind was to know Christ and to make him known. One heart and one soul, verse 32. And they had all things common, chapter 4, verse 32. And let me tell you something else about that chapter. And chapter 4, verse 32 of Acts, and I want you to read that one. That's your memory thought for this week as you look at that. Acts chapter 4, verse 32 says, and none of them said that the things were their own, that they owned, that they possessed was their own.
All right.
Did y'all catch that? None of them, they were one heart and one soul. They had all things common, and none of them said that the things that they possessed were their own. That means that their possession, their home, whatever they had, they didn't talk about being my house. They opened it up for everybody. Y'all see, you can't love folk without opening up what you have.
That's right.
I know in this day and age we're so afraid of being taken advantage of and folk breaking, looking in to see what we got. And if something come up missing, I know who took it. I saw how she was looking at my stuff. They didn't get caught up in their stuff.
All right, pal.
I know she's looking at it because she's going to end up woman just like it because y'all come on.
All right, pal.
None of them thought, look, yes, I pay the mortgage, I have the keys, I have all of the bills, but my house is your house. Mi casa su casa. Did I get it right? One of my teachers, my instructor, yeah. Mi casa su casa. Thank you. What's mine is yours. Everybody here is equally kind. What's yours is mine. And how does that go?
What's yours is mine.
Y'all, that's living color. That's living color. Y'all, you look at it later. That's not important. But they had all things coming. Did you see this? United. Where one goes, the other goes. We out for each other. We're concerned about each other. And I see that increasing more and more at Tribe Judah. What a blessing. It is my prayer, it's my cry that when we get together to do something, when we have cleanup, you feel like that's part of your responsibility. This is my church. I feel obligated to go. Y'all hear me? When we have an open house for the community that you feel it's your obligation to go. No matter how tired my church is having it, that's part of me. They're representing me, United Fellowship. A lot of folks say, I'll be there in spirit. That's not your financial support, and that's not your body. You're seeing your body, seeing your presence here encourages me.
That's right.
Amen? That's how you encourage other folk, by your presence. United.